Hello everyone, so here we are in the French for Teenagers French GCSE course, and I wanted to show you a little bit more today about what the course entails, okay? So before you start, that's to learn the French instruction. This is the previous video. Topics, if you click on topics, you will see the different French GCSE topics. So you have my family, my friends and I, leisure activities, my region, my holidays, my school, my ambitions, the environment. In every topic, so if I click on view, my family, my friends, there are some sub-lessons. So my family, my friends and I, we have a lesson on my family, lesson on my friends and I, and a lesson on the person I admire. So I click again my family, and this is where you start. On the right hand side, you have a progress bar. So this tells you how much of the lesson you have done. The first thing you do in this lesson is the listening, okay? So for example, you click here.
Dans ma famille, il y a ma mère, mon beau-père, ma sœur, mon demi-frère et moi.
Donc là, here you're going to listen to this, okay? You're going to have a look at the vocabulary, read the instruction, and then here, choose the statements which are right, click on Envoyer when you're ready, and recommencer to reset. Basically, you do the listening and then you click on what you think is right. Then you click on Envoyer, you have 2 attempts. It will tell you after 2 attempts what was right if you haven't found that. So here we have a listening. Next, we have a reading. You do the reading, and after that, you answer the question on the right. So it's a drop-down menu with several answers. Then you have a text analysis. This is a bit about grammar. So you read the text and you answer A, B, C, D. You answer all the questions and you have the answer on the right-hand side. Now, the vocabulary, here you have all the vocabulary of the lesson. And you have the Lia Quizlet, which is the app where I put all the vocabulary for each lesson. Now, when you are in Quizlet, you can learn the vocabulary. You have different ways of learning the vocabulary. So you do that for each lesson. I will do another video specifically on Quizlet. Next, you have the grammar part, okay? This is the conjugation of the verb avoir. And after the grammar part, this is where you have to fill in the right answer. So you type in directly the answer, and then you click on Envoyer. To do the accent, remember I told you how to use the AL code if you need to do any accent. Next, we have the verb to be. Okay, this is the conjugation of the verb to be. And similarly, you have the exercise where you have to type in the right answer. Next, we're talking about the agreement of adjectives. So this is the theory. Here I explain what is the rule. And next, you have the exercise where you select the right answer just to make sure you have understood the rule. This is the part about the possessive pronouns. So you have the theory on the left and the exercise on the right to make sure that you have understood properly. Here you have another exercise where you have to tick the right answer. Now you have the writing part. So how do we do the writing? Basically, you select different options, okay, which apply to your circumstances. And when you finish selecting all the options, you write it down on a piece of paper because this is your text and this is a text that you can actually use, for example, for a speaking exam if you ever had to describe your family. So you write it and then you can learn it. Now, after this, you practice your presentation that you wrote down earlier. Describing a picture, you know that you will have an exam where you have to describe a picture. This is why I put a lot of pictures in the different lessons, and you have to describe it. So what you do, you have a look at the picture, you think about if I had that at the exam, how would I describe it? And then you click on the different spots, the hot spots, and on the hotspot, I've actually described a bit of the picture, okay? So this is to give you an example of what you could have said. Then we have the speaking frame, okay? So for each theme, for example, quelle est ta personnalité, you have a different speaking frame, and it means you have different answer. So basically, you can use the speaking frame to prepare your speaking exam. You have here, for each sentence, you have different possibilities of things that you can say. So the idea is to reuse the same structure every time and use it with different words to make it easier for you to learn. Because the whole idea of this course is really to summarize the learning. So this is the first lesson. What do I do to go back? I simply go to the arrow. Okay, and I go back to the arrow again, to go and again, to go back to the main menu. What else do you have in this course apart from the topic? You have the vocabulary bank. So I showed you about the Quizlet link. Well, here you have all the Quizlet link available in one place. For each lesson, I've put the link again of Quizlet. So here you have all the vocabulary in one place. We go back, we go back. Next, we have the grammar part. So the grammar part is basically the verb conjugation. I've done two things, the 24 verbs or the 80 verbs. So 24 verbs is a summary of the top 24 verbs in French and how to conjugate them. And this is a color-coded table to help you understand a bit more about the French conjugation. So I explain here how it works, and then I give you access to the table. Now these pictures, you can actually print them. If you do a right click, you can save them and you can print them. You can also download it on my website. So here you are for the top 24 verbs. You have the conjugation present, past, future, conditional. I will explain all this in another video in more details. So this is the 24 ones and this is the 80 verbs one. What else do we have? We have the speaking exam preparation. This space is dedicated to your speaking exam. So first of all, I explain about the exam, what you need to know about the exam, so the different tasks, okay? I give you some tips on how to get a good mark. And I give you an example, for example, of a picture and what you need to know, how to describe the picture, how to give your opinion, how to recognize the tenses. I will also make a video about that. Next, in your speaking exam preparation, you have different things. You have the role-play practice. So the role-play practice, you have practice number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here you have 5 different practice. So what you do here, you have a context. This is the situation. What you will see, this is what you will see at the exam. You have a picture and you have just some information, 1, 2, 3, 5. This is the information about the question that you will be asked about. So this is the first thing. So you think about that. If I receive that, what do I do? Next, what you will be asked. These are the actual questions that you will be asked. The last one we don't know because it's a random question, so we don't know what it is and what good answers could look like. So I've given you every time an example of what you could have answered. Okay, so this is for the role play practice. Next, we have the picture-based task. Okay, so the picture-based task, this is the part of the exam when you have a picture and you need to describe it. Okay, so here you have the picture and I give you some information. I give you some clues. Please note that the clues won't be available at the exam. And next, I give you some essential vocabulary that you won't have at the exam either. So for each topic, you've got the essential vocabulary that you need to learn. If you click on there, it takes you to the Quizlet app where you can learn this essential vocabulary. What you will be asked, okay, these are the 5 different questions that you will be asked. What good answers could be like? Again, I give you some example of what you could have answered. And so on. You have different pictures. Okay, so now conversation. These are the speaking frames. So you can see that you have speaking frames, you have different questions, and you have a speaking frame. So you have different answers, and every time you have a structure and you can choose different things and you can adapt it. So you can practice answering each question using the speaking frame. Next, this is a bonus. You have the literature part. So I put an article about Arthur Rimbaud, and you can read this and do the fill in the gap exercise. You have the answer, translation, correction, and the link to the new vocabulary there as well as the listening. After doing all this, you can actually listen to the text. Next, so every time you need to go back, you have the music part. Okay, so the music part, I couldn't really put any picture or anything because you know that of copyright. So I've put you the link here so that you are able to watch the clip in YouTube. You click there. Now, for example, this is a song about Luan. So I've done it as a fill in the gap exercise. You listen to the song. You have the lyrics here, fill in the gap. So you need to find the words which are missing. To help you, on the right-hand side, I've put the English translation. When you finish, can I see the words that I need to place? If you need help, you can actually see the words that you need to put in the fill in the gap exercise. Can I see the words and the translation? You can see the words and the translation. Okay, can I see the answers now? This will actually tell you what you needed to put. Learn the vocab. The new vocab is available in Quizlet. And I've put different music, all right? So this is it. This is the new French for GCSE course. So I hope you like this course and that this will be very helpful to get a top mark at your French GCSE. Bye-bye.